Welcome to SmartWeb YouTube channel. So today we'll be dealing on the differences between primary key, foreign keys, and also the differences between unique value and distinct value. Now I've gotten a lot of questions based on this because they are all confusing. So today I'll walk you through to the best of my knowledge how you can actually understand this in a better way. Now, before we dive into it, I will also give you the practical aspect. Before we dive into it, please, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please try and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks to those that subscribe, we are growing. Only way that you can support us is by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Another thing is this: we have our sites here, Menstack Me and other, so you can check our store. We only have one product here for now. We're also preparing our courses which will be available later on in the future. Now here you can visit our store. We have a product called the AI Wealth Blueprint. You can get it, it's just $4 and 6,428 naira. So you can get it and support us. You can also buy us a coffee if you want. If you like what we are doing on this channel, you can also click and buy us a coffee. Now this our channel, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's the only way you can help us. Please subscribe. So let's dive into what we have today. Now you can see the primary key versus foreign keys versus unique and versus distinct key. Now understanding database constraints with real world examples. Now if you come to this place, I said what is primary key an example. Now primary keys are those unique identifiers. When you're talking about primary key, they are those unique identifiers that they don't repeat itself. Now what do I mean? A primary key is uniquely identify a primary key uniquely identifies each record in a table. Now example, a passport number. No two people have the same passport number. Now in primary key, if you have people with passport number, you know that two persons cannot have the same passport number. Now this is an example of primary key. Another thing is this: a primary key can never have null value, because if you want to identify a person, even in your national ID card, it cannot have a null value. If you have a null value, that means the person is not existing. So in primary key in your table, number one, it must be uniquely identified. There is no repetition. It can never be null. So this is how to know a primary key. Now as time goes on, I will give you guys example. Now if you come to this table, we have passport number, and if you see this passport number, they are all different. They are all different. Now if you see the name, we have Alice, we have Bob, we have Charlie. Now this Alice also can be repeated with a different passport number. Now because Alice, two people are having this Alice, what will differentiate them is the passport number, which is a unique value. They can be in the same country, but what with the same name, but what will differentiate them is what? This unique value. So primary keys are unique identifiers. They don't have null value and they don't repeat themselves. Now talking about foreign key. Foreign key, for example, visa application. Now a foreign key can actually repeat itself. What do I mean? A foreign key references a primary key in another table. I will show you example as time goes on. Now example, visa application referencing passport number. Somebody that has one unique identifier as a passport can have different visa applications. That means that visa application referencing that particular person is a foreign key. That means there's a repetition of visa applications of the same person with this unique number. So those repetition of visa applications are foreign keys. So foreign keys can be repeated. They can also have null value. Ensures data consistency. Now a visa must be linked to an existing passport. One person doing applications over and over. Now that repetition of those things, that repetition of those things, that repetition of that application are the foreign keys. Now this is how we can explain this. Now if you come to this table, we have the immigration database. Example, now we have a unique number here. We have a unique number here. We have a name here, right? Sorry, this is not this thing. This is the table. We have visa ID here. You can see the visa ID here. We have the visa type. I'll have the passport number. Now, this passport number are unique, But if you see this this one here, P1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you can see there is a repetition here. What does it mean? That this particular person applied for visa in different times with different visa ID. Are you seeing it? 101 and 104. So that's what it means. Now, visa application table, you can see it here, 101, 104. But the same person applying for this, which is for making it what? A foreign key. There's a repetition of what? Number, right? Now, let's go straight to unique constraints and distinct. When you're talking about unique constraint, for example, an email address. Now, ensure all values in a column are unique. That's number one. When you're talking about unique constraint, all values are unique. Now, an online store requires unique email addresses. When you want to register in a platform, you have your own unique email address. Everybody that's actually registered in a platform has their unique email address, even though they may have the same name. But the difference now is this: it allows null values, unlike primary key that doesn't allow null value. It allows null value if the email is optional. Maybe you want to register on a platform and the email there is an optional. That means that space can be null. So which makes it unique. Everything there unique. Everybody has their own unique email address. Now, the difference between this unique constraint and the primary key is that unique constraint actually allows null value, but primary key doesn't allow null value. Now, if you come to the table here, you have the user ID, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the name and we have the email. Now, you can see that email here, they are all unique to the name of the person attached. Even this name, if you have another person with a different name, it can be identified with this unique ID, which is the primary key, even though the person has the same name and a unique email address. Because even you have the same name, the same people cannot have the same email address. That's why some email addresses are separated by numbers. You see something like maybe Francis Royce 12 at gmail.com. This 13 at this. Now, making it unique value. But the difference here, if you can see that Emma has a null value, which means that Emma did not what? Input his email address. Now, another thing is this, talking about distinct key example, product list. Now, use in select query to remove duplicate. Now, when you're talking about distinct can actually repeat itself. It can actually repeat itself in a column. Now, Now, example, a customer searching for unique product names in a store. A customer searching for a unique product names in a store. Now, in that store, you may have the same product but different sizes or different prices. Now, you can see that there are repetition of products, but those products are distinct. Now, does not enforce uniqueness in database itself. Let me give you an example. If you see this table, this is a product table. Now, the product ID are unique if you see it, but the product name, you can see that laptop is repeated here, laptop is repeated here, phone is repeated here, phone is repeated here, tablet is repeated, tablet is only here. Now, only unique product here is only tablet, but phone are repeated 2 times, which makes it distinct. That means if you are using a distinct value, you have to select one. If you can see that what makes it distinct is that this laptop is 1000, this particular laptop is 1100. So even though they are the same product, but they are distinct. They are distinct. Now, I will show you another example. In summary, primary keys How they relate? Primary key like a passport number, unique? No, no. As I said before, foreign key like a visa linked to a passport. Unique constraints like email, unique, not allowed. Distinct keyword filters duplicate in queries, does not what? Enforce uniqueness. Now, if you want to, for example, calculate the number of products in this particular table, the number of products in this particular table. Now, you have to use, due to the number of products are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't need to use distinct count. You have to use count because you are just looking at the number of products in this particular table. Now, let me give you an example. I have I have one thing here. I have one thing here. This is two data. The one is e-commerce data and the other one is US state logic data. Now, if you can see, I'm still building the dashboard. Now, this is the model. In this particular place, you can see many to one cardinality. Now, this one cardinality here is unique value, and this particular place, the many, is what? Is customer state, which is customer state, which is a foreign key. Now, if I double click here, you can see many to one what? Cardinality. Now, what do I mean by this? Let's go to our SQL. Now, in our SQL, I want to show you something for you to understand what's the name US and e-commerce. So let me use data based analytics portfolio. Go. If you have watched my video, you understand what I'm trying to do. I just want to change the should I call it the repository of this particular database. Now, if I select this, select from e-commerce. Let's select this from e-commerce. Now, you can see this customer ID. Now, this customer ID is not a unique value. It's not a unique value because their reputation, they are all foreign keys. Their reputations. Now, their reputation, what do I mean? When you do something like this, select count. Let me write from e-commerce. Oh, sorry. From e-commerce data. Count of this customer ID. Customer ID. Let's see the result. We are getting 113,270 numbers. Now, you know why? There are repetitions of customer ID. Now, this is just to know the number of customer that purchased a particular goods. The number of customer that purchased a particular goods. Now, the number of times, sorry, they purchase that goods, not the number of customer that purchase a particular good, the number of time they purchase that goods. That's what this is showing us. That's what this is showing us. That means one person purchase different goods at different time, making this customer ID to have the same ID that repeated itself differently. You understand? But when you want to, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. But when you want to count the number of times that this, when you want to count how the customer or how many customer actually exist that bought these goods, how many customer actually exist that bought these goods, it doesn't matter the number of times they bought it. Now, what will happen is this: we use distance. What this distance will do is that even if this customer with one ID appeared in 3 places or in 4 places, what this things will do is, because of this one are the same, what this things will do, this thing will select only one to represent this other one. So it will filter it out, showing you the just the customers that actually patronize you guys, the customers that patronize you guys, but it's not showing the number of times they patronize. Now, this particular one is showing the number of times they patronize you, but the distance we filter it out to show you the number of customer, the particular customer that patronize you people, even though that particular customer bought different goods, which makes it to have different, that ID appears in different places. So what do I mean? If I say select from e-commerce, let me use count, you see what will happen. This value will reduce distinct, what's the name again? Customer ID. Now let's see what happens. You can see this reduces 42,000. That means the number of customers that actually patronize them are 42,000 customers. 42,000 customers. But how many times did they patronize them? They patronize them in 130, they patronize them in 130 times, 270, which one person will actually buy many goods. Now, remember what I said, this actually make this column a foreign key, because they don't have unique values. Now, let me show you another thing. Select this from US this. Now, if you check this place, we have name of state here. Now, this name of states are unique value, they are unique identities. What do I mean? There is no repetition here. Let me show you. If we copy this and use count and distance count will still give you the same results. Name, name. If I click this, it gives you 52. This is what count gave you. Now, let's copy this and use the state count and add distinct here. It will still give you the 52. Do you know why? Because it's that particular column is a primary key with unique values. So these things cannot filter anything because they are all the same. So another way to identify foreign key and primary key is by the use of distance. Whenever you use on distance on any ID and whenever you use count distance on any ID and use count, it gives you the same answer. That means that particular column is a primary key. But when you use count distinct, it gives you another answer, and use count distance, it gives you another answer. That means that particular column is a foreign key. Now, let me show you guys something. If you see from here, the cardinality of what we connected is from the name. If you click here, the name to the customer name in e-commerce data. Now, this customer states here, this means one, many to one. This customer states here means that this particular customer state is a foreign key, which it contains different states. What do I mean? Let's check it out. If you have this distinct, let me remove the distinct count. Let's first check the count of customer states from e-commerce. Customer state. Now, this is the count of what it gave us, right? Now, if I use distinct, this is what it gives us. Now, that means that particular column is a foreign key. So there is distinct value and unique values. So this is actually what is happening here. I don't know if I'm able to solve this problem, but this is what actually. So whenever we want to build our data model, which we did, so we have to connect different states, which is this particular one, one particular state to different states. So primary key to foreign key. So that's what I did here, which gave us what? Many cardinalities. If you come here, this name has a common name that's related to this customer state. So which will give you what? Many to one cardinality. So this is how you identify unique value and unique constraints and what's it called, and distinct constraint, and also primary and foreign key. There are other ways to identify them, but this is what I want to show you now. Another thing is we can actually load this data. I don't know if I should go through. Let me click on transform data through our Power BI. Let me show you another thing. Let's allow it to load. So let's go to this e-commerce. It's still loading. Please pardon with me. Pardon me. It's still loading. Very good. Now if you come to this place, how did I get this? If you go to add columns, you go to view, sorry, you can see column distribution. You can click on it. You can even check for column profiles. You can click on it, but we don't need it. So it will give you some of the counts, errors, unique value and all that, but we'll still get to that. Now if you come to your ID here, you see that we have 684 unique values on this your ID column. Just on column distribution, see it here. 684 unique value. What does it mean? There are some ID here, the customers here that only bought one thing once and they never bought. But we have 821 distinct. That means these customers bought repeatedly different things. So making it what? Distinct value. So when you filter out this distinct value, it will divide this into how many times it is of the customer that I bought. You just select one from here and add it up with the unique value, and it will give you the number of the customers without considering how many times they exist. Now you can see almost everything, every column here are distinct, have distinct and unique value, which makes almost every column here foreign keys. If you can see them, are you seeing it? Only this particular column that has 100 distinct and 100 unique. So that means this is a foreign key. Now, this is a primary key. Sorry, not foreign key. This is a primary key. You can see. So this is another way to check some of these things. This is another way to check some of it. Okay, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Only thing you can do by supporting us is subscribing. So we are bringing you different data analysis that we're about to do. You can see I'm working on this dashboard. Which is very responsive, very responsive. If you can see, I'm working on this dashboard, which I will also post the video tutorials on how you can work with this. You can see our here is our slicer. If I put our slicer here, let me look for something. Segmentation. If I use customer segmentation, if you can see customer, corporate, you can see the indicators are changing. Home office, you can see the indicators are changing. So this is a very dynamic dashboard, which I will also do tutorial on how to do it, which I'm still working on them. So stay tuned. If you like this video and want to see how I build this dashboard, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I've not finished it, I'm still working on it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, give it a thumbs up and comment. Thank you. Bye.